Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to Be With Me. We're on season 2. This is episode 46. And I think I'm going to title today, The Triumph, that is the triumphal entry, has some tears. We find Jesus weeping over Jerusalem in today's passage. And let's just go to the Greek first of all. So the Greek word has an emphasis on the noise. So this isn't exactly a tear was seen in his eye. So there's weeping, wailing, lamenting, crying. There's a noise with this crying, with the tears. All right, so this is from Luke chapter 19. And funny thing, so we're studying the triumphal entry of Jesus going into Jerusalem. And it's a big deal, donkey, palm branches, Hosanna. And then only Luke tells this part. This is Luke 19:41. And when he drew near and saw the city, he wept over it, saying, would that you, and then he speaks to the city here, probably metaphorically, but he's actually talking now, he's addressing Jerusalem. Would that you, even you, had known on this day the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. For the days will come upon you when your enemies will set up a barricade around you and surround you and hem you in on every side and tear you to the ground, you and your children within you. And they will not leave one stone upon another in you, because you did not know the time of your visitation. So interesting, he's speaking to the city and then the children, the inhabitants of the city. And what he's saying is what is happening on this day, on the triumphal entry day, in the time of Jesus, that there is going to be ramifications for the future, and it's not going to be pretty. The yearning is that would that you, even you, had known on this day, the day of Jesus is coming, the things that make for peace. And because you did not know the time of your visitation, that this was going to happen to you. Number one, there was going to be a barricade, and the Romans did this in their siege, and they would be surrounded and hemmed in and then torn to the ground, both the city and your people, to the end that not one stone upon another would be left. And we find here the heart of Jesus, the justice and the judging, and the cost, as we've discussed, is not pretty. And here's the thing is, there's this hidden part that a part of it is they're responsible enough to receive an accountability at the end, a judgment. That's on one hand. On the other hand, there's this hiddenness. So we know there's believers in Jerusalem at the time, Zacchaeus, Mary, and Martha, Lazarus, Mary Magdalene, Joanna, probably the disciples. But there's a hiddenness from their eyes, and it results in their rejection of the Lord, but they're also held accountable for it, that there's a justice here. And so there's this tension of what's hidden and who hides and who hardens, and man's conscious free will choices. And then so there's this tension between man's responsibility, absolutely, it's in the passage, and then God's sovereignty, absolutely, it's in the passage, that God is working all things according to the counsel of his will, absolutely. So the way I describe this is, I think Jesus weeps over two things in his life. One is death, and that is already happened. It's been with Lazarus and Mary and Martha, and Jesus kind of sits down with Mary and Martha and weeps over Lazarus, and that we all have to go through the death process, and we have to watch people go through the death process, and it's a hard and sort of a nasty part of life. I don't think that's what this is about. I think this one is more about sin, judgment, and belief. And here's how I want to describe this today. I see a left side and a right side. I made this little chart. And on the left side is sin, and on the right side is sovereignty. On the left side is deciding and accountability, and on the right side is destruction. And on the left side is people's choice, individual choice. And on the right side is God's choice. And on the left side, again, responsibility of man. And then on the right side, God's reign. And on the left side, things that are revealed. And on the right side, things that are hidden. On the left side, belief. And on the right side, revealing. And so there's this tension, and one of the commentators that I read said, this is a mystery. Nobody can understand this. Well, hold on there, Mr. Commentator. So in my chart then, on this left side, right side thing, I have Jesus in the middle. And I see him tearful and crying and weeping with noise. He knows that this is hard. So I don't think we can get our heads all the way around this. That's the point of the commentators. We can't get our heads all the way around the sovereignty of God and the accountability of man. So we can't get our heads all the way around it. And we probably can't get our hearts all the way around this. But here's the good news today, is take heart. Jesus has got his heart all the way around this. And so smack dab in the middle of this tension of man's accountability and God's sovereignty, we see Jesus there, understanding it and sitting with us and weeping with us and feeling it in his heart. So there are tears in the triumphal entry. And one of the triumphs, I think, is that Jesus is with us in this tension in the heart stuff. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you tomorrow.